guys, this is Arlette Hardy, blogger and joy strategist at chasing-joy.com, where I write about ways for women to pursue having a happy, joyful life that they deserve, and gives tips on building resilience so that you can bounce back quickly when life knocks you down. And today I am giving you guys another baby making update. So if you are new to this channel, you want to know that I have been on a 2+ year trying to conceive fertility journey to become a single mother by choice. And I'm sharing my journey because, like I said, I believe that we all should be pursuing having the happy, joyful lives that we deserve. And that looks different for everyone, but for me, it looked like motherhood. So I wanted to share my journey with you guys. But before I begin, first, I want to apologize for this. I don't know if you can see, but my tongue is blue. Today is October 28th. It is 3 days before Halloween, and I broke into the Halloween candy, and I ate a blue raspberry airhead, not realizing that it would dye my tongue blue right before doing the video. So I apologize for my blue tongue, but I did not want to delay shooting the video. So I'm going to get started. Like I said, this is a baby making update for you guys, or a bump date, as some people like to call it. Today I am 14 weeks pregnant. Depending on what app you look at, it might say 14 weeks 0 days, or some will say 14 weeks 1 day. The baby right now is the size of a lemon. So it's approximately 3.5 inches long and 1.5 ounces in weight. And I have my notes here so that I don't ramble too much, and I give you guys all the stats and details that I know you want to know. So like I said, today I'm 14 weeks, so I'm actually going to be telling you guys about weeks 10, 11, and 12. So I'm telling you about multiple weeks at a time to try and speed up the videos so that we can get to a point where the videos that you guys see are like real time. I initially had my videos delayed through the whole TTC process to allow me time to come to terms with all the failed cycles, and to give myself time when I finally did have a positive cycle to share with all of my friends and family in real life before sharing on the interwebs. So now that everyone knows, trying to speed up the videos so that I can stop torturing you guys with the late videos and give you things in real time. So first I'm just going to tell you significant things that happened during weeks 10, 11, and 12. So during weeks 10, 3 kind of significant things happened. One, that was when I was told I could stop taking my progesterone and estrogen. So no more injections or needles, no more estrogen pills. So that was both exciting and scary. It's kind of relieving to not have to do the injection anymore, especially because I was doing them so early in the morning. But it was a bit nerve-wracking because I was fearful that what if the placenta hadn't formed enough to take over making these hormones. But so far so good, because that was now 3 weeks ago. Another significant thing happened is I went to my new OB. I mentioned in a previous video that my first OB appointment was very disappointing. I left feeling sad and more anxious than before I went. So I switched, and I'm happy to report I like this new practice so much better. I felt like they actually listened to me and paid attention. They did not just treat me like, a cookie cutter. They actually asked questions about my IVF, like they wanted to know, did I use my own eggs? Other people didn't even ask anything about that. So I like the new practice a whole lot. Oh, and then at that appointment, when I was just 10 weeks, or I think technically I was like 9 weeks, 6 days, but basically 10 weeks, and I asked the nurse, could we listen for the heartbeat? Now, I mentioned to you guys before that I bought the home Doppler, but I still wanted to hear it in the doctor's office just to confirm that what I was listening to was the, correct thing. So she warned me, was like, well, we can try, but I'll just be prepared. It's still early if we don't hear it. I don't want you to be upset. And I said, oh, I won't be upset. Because I was fairly confident that we would hear it because I thought I was hearing it at home. So we listened and she found it right away. And it was like 165 beats per minute, I think she said. So that was awesome. And it sounded just like what I was hearing at home. So that gave me a bit of confidence in home Doppler. And then the last thing that happened during week 10 was I went to Blogalicious. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I'm a blogger. I've been blogging way longer than I've had this YouTube channel. And the main reason I included the YouTube channel is just to talk about, anything kind of related to joy and happiness. And when I decided to pursue motherhood, which is part of my journey to having a joyful life, I wanted to share that here. But I've been a blogger for 8 years. Coming up on 8 years now, and Blogalicious is my favorite conference. It was in Miami, and so I went, and it was awesome and a lot of fun. And I told a couple of my blogger friends who don't live anywhere near me that I was pregnant. They were so happy for me because they have been following my journey like you guys. So that was awesome. It was an interesting experience being at the conference pregnant. There's a lot of activities. It's like a perfect mix of work, networking, and fun. So there are parties, and then there are fitness activities in the morning. And I had brought clothes to work out in, but then I got anxious about it because I realized it wouldn't be like working out at home because I would not be in control of my environment. So I decided not to do it. So I never worked out while I was there. And then just traveling itself was so tiring. I was so tired from just, the flight, and I get nervous about flying. I still took my Xanax. I talked to the RE. I talked to the first OB practice, the one that I left, and I talked to the one that I just joined, and they all pretty much said the same thing, that Xanax taken basically how I take it, which is just to fly. So basically take it one dose to fly home, one dose to fly there. They felt would not be a problem or harmful to the baby. That it only would be something to be concerned about is if I needed it daily, which I don't. So they okayed me to do that so that I wouldn't be super, super anxious. But I did decrease my dose by half of what I would normally take. So it took some of the edge off, but I was still pretty anxious with the flying. But overall, great experience. But it was very different being pregnant and just feeling so uber aware of everything that I'm doing. So week 11, 3 things happened that were interesting. So I went to the dentist. So I have had a root canal in the past and I have a crown. And right before I went to Blogalicious, my crown broke off while I was flossing. So with the screw and everything. So I was able to get it back in so I didn't look crazy during the conference with all the photos. But I went to the dentist, and so I had to inform them that I was pregnant. So basically, they didn't truly fix the problem because they didn't want to do that while I was pregnant. They didn't want me to have x-rays and all that. So instead, they just kind of put a temporary fix, kind of glued the crown back on, and hopefully that can stay through the whole pregnancy. So far, so good. And then get it fixed for real after the baby's born. The second thing was I had my NT ultrasound. I think it's I'm probably going to butcher this, nodal translucency ultrasound, or sometimes they call it the first trimester screening. So basically they were looking at the back of the baby's neck and measuring the space where there's liquid and to determine if it was in a normal range. If it was in the abnormal range, like too much fluid, that could be an indicator of Down syndrome. So that was a big thing that week, and my cousin came with me, and she's going to be the baby's godmom. I thought it'd be nice for her to come to an ultrasound where I knew the baby would actually look like a human, and it did. So that was awesome. And the ultrasound tech said the baby had long legs. So I know in previous videos I said I was going to insert the ultrasounds and then I would forget each time. So what I'm going to do is after I publish this video, I'm going to share with you guys the videos that I posted announcing the pregnancy, which I didn't tell you about that yet, but I'm going to post that because those videos included the ultrasounds, so you get to see them. So that was awesome, week 11. And then I went to the ballet because I buy like season ticket packages here for the Pennsylvania Ballet here in Philadelphia. And we saw Sleeping Beauty. And it was great. But the interesting thing related to being pregnant was the seats were so uncomfortable to me. It made my back hurt a little. And I have 2 more ballets to go to this season. One in December. And then the other is in March, where I'll be basically like 8 months pregnant. And I was thinking like, oh, if this is a little uncomfortable now, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to that March one. So interesting experience. And then week 12, a few things happened that week that were noteworthy. So I went on this work trip. So I've traveled a lot this month of October. So went to Blogalicious for several days, came home, and then for a few days, and then went back on travel for work for the day job, where I was on travel for 4 days, 3 nights, and each night was a different hotel, and each day included walking tours and then several hours on like a tour bus. So it was no fun. And I was pretty stressed throughout the trip. Just all constantly worrying, was I doing too much? Was I walking too much? I was there with my boss's boss. She knows that I'm pregnant, and I was there with a couple other co-workers, a male and a female. I did tell the woman that I was pregnant, just so they would know in case anything weird happened, but nothing happened. Everything was perfect, but I was nervous. Then after that, I was home for one night, and the next day I left town again, but this time I was driving for another blog conference, which was Build Your Influence, and that was good too. At least that was just a one-day thing. And the perk of that was the hotel where they were staying is a spa, so I got a prenatal massage. So that was nice. A couple of my friends had them while they were pregnant, and they both said they did not like the prenatal massage, but they had them later in pregnancy, so I thought maybe I'll have mine earlier, and it went well for me. So the difference between that and a regular massage is they have like these foam cushions that they put on the massage table that kind of has like a cutout or a dip for the belly and for your boobs, because you know your boobs get really tender while you're pregnant and get bigger, so you kind of have to position yourself so that you're fitting into these boobs. That was a little bit awkward, but I did manage to get comfortable, and then the massage was very nice. I did notice she skipped during the massage the backs of my lower calf, like my ankle and the back of my foot. And I had read that those zones can are pressure points that people do apply pressure to when they want to induce labor. So I thought it was interesting that she skipped those on the massage. So I guess with the prenatal, they skip certain areas that can be considered sensitive. And I did call the doctor's office first, and they okayed the massage. And then the last 2 things that happened on week 12. So I announced the pregnancy, which was awesome. And I announced it by sharing 2 videos on Instagram and on Facebook. One starring Peanut, of course, I couldn't leave him out. And he's basically telling people how I love to expand our family. Like, first I got a dog, and then I got another cat, and now I'm talking about a baby, and like his feelings about the baby. And then I included an ultrasound and then a photo saying that the baby was due in April. Then I did another video, which was much more, I guess, emotional. I know there's sentimental, maybe that's the right word, where I included one of my favorite gospel songs. And over it, I did a slideshow basically showing kind of what happened. I showed me going for the transfer. I showed the embryo. I showed me not the first test, but the test that said pregnant. And then I showed each ultrasound up to that last one where it obviously looks like a baby. So I'll share those two videos on the YouTube channel right after I publish this one, so you guys can check it out and you can finally see the ultrasound pictures that I kept forgetting to include, and I apologize for that. I'm going to blame that on mommy brain, which I'm blaming everything on until April. And then right after that, an unfortunate thing happened. 2 days after I announced the pregnancy, I had a bleeding scare. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, why? But it was not bad at all. And, TMI coming. I didn't ruin any clothing. It was just blood on the tissue when I went to the restroom. So, but it's still unnerving. And then it went away, and that was it. And I did a pretty good workout that day. And they say like your cervix is super, super engorged with like all these blood vessels. So maybe I don't know, twisted or turned the wrong way or something and bruised something. So that's what happened in week 12. Oh, I forgot one thing. So when I went to that second blog conference, the one that I drove to, I noticed that there were outlets. So right when the conference was over, before I drove home, I went to the outlets. And I went to the Motherhood Maternity, and they actually had plus size maternity clothes. So I had been looking at maternity clothes, and I went to a couple stores, and pretty much they only had up to an extra large. I'm not an extra large in my normal life. So, I was kind of stressed about having to buy things online and not really knowing the size, but they actually had it in the store. It wasn't a huge selection, but it was, something. And then they had clearance, and there was quite a bit in clearance. And the lady, her name was Samantha, was so nice. And they let me borrow one of the fake bellies to put on so I could get a feel for how the clothes would fit later in pregnancy. And like just to see myself. And I was like, wow, that's like pretty big. But I ended up buying 2 pair of jeans, a pair of pants for work, and 4 shirts, and it was like $143. So I thought that was like an awesome deal. So now I'm going to try to find some other motherhood maternities and see if they have plus size or if that's just something at the outlet. But it's very exciting. And actually today, for the first time, I'm wearing maternity clothes. So I'll show you later when I do the bump shot. So all of those are the significant things that happened. So the best moments of weeks 10, 11, and 12 were definitely a tie between the ultrasound and seeing the baby look like a baby and like a human. She was able to show us 2 legs, 2 arms, the brain, the stomach, and the baby was upside down, and it had its arm like this, like maybe kind of dramatic over its head. So that was interesting. Oh, and I forgot one other thing. And I also, week 12, picked what genetic testing I was going to do because I'm over 35. So my insurance will either cover or just about cover for me to have genetic testing done to determine the risk for like Down syndrome or other major genetic abnormalities. So when I briefly talked to the nurse about it, I said, I did not have any intention of terminating if it were Down syndrome, but I guess if there was something big like that, I would want to know ahead of time so I can start to mentally prepare. So I decided to do the panorama testing. So I did all that blood work in week 12 as well. Okay. So the best moments were a tie between the ultrasound and then announcing the pregnancy to the world, because the response I got was just overwhelmingly positive. You guys on YouTube, that was also the week that I shared the video of me getting the positives and the beta and all that. You guys were so awesome. I thank you so much for all your support through these 2 years of TTCing and just all the love I felt from you guys. And it was just multiplied, and the same thing on Facebook, on Instagram, text messages, just everyone's so happy for me. I said, this is the most loved baby ever, and the most baby the most people are excited for. So that was awesome. And the worst moments of weeks 10, 11, and 12 were definitely the bleeding scare, and then also the work trip. That trip was just exhausting and stressful, and I woke up on Wednesday. We got there Monday. I woke up Wednesday morning and I just wanted to cry because I just wanted to go home. I just wanted to go home, and I had all day Wednesday and then half of Thursday to go. So those were definitely the worst moments. So now for some more stats. So aversions, I haven't really had any. When I was at Blogalicious, the first blog conference, they provided meals and they actually had a kale salad, and I was able to eat it without feeling like it tasting like grass. So I think that aversion to those kind of raw leafy greens is over. And for the most part, everything has been okay. Sometimes if I eat too much of something, it starts to taste funny. It's like today I went to Cracker Barrel with a friend, and I got some ham, and it tasted good at first, but then several bites in, it didn't taste very good. And then I also got French toast, and I got a blueberry fruit topping, and I just added a little, and toward the end of the meal, I decided to just taste the fruit topping by itself, not quite a spoonful, but a little on the spoon, and it tasted horrible. But it tasted great on the French toast, so it's a little odd, but I wouldn't really call that an aversion. Cravings, I have not really had any cravings. Just been eating kind of normal things that I like. My sleep has not been good. I've been really tired. Either I have a hard time staying asleep where I'm waking up and tossing and turning, and sometimes it's because I'm just I'm going to be a little bit uncomfortable because I do tend to sleep on my stomach, and I still can for right now, but every now and then it feels a little uncomfortable, and so then I have to adjust. I'm trying to sleep more on my left side, which they say is the healthier way to sleep. For blood flow to the baby and everything, but it's not really natural yet. So then I've also been anxious. Just sometimes it's a little overwhelming when I think about all the things that I want and need to get done by April. So I haven't been sleeping that great. Actually, my sleep tends to be the best it's after 5 a.m., which is fine on the weekends, but during the work week, I get up pretty much at between 5:45 and 6. So, it kind of sucks that I'm just now getting into good sleep and it's time to get up. Symptoms, like I said, just tired. At first, I thought I was tired from the traveling, just Blogalicious, But then, you know, usually after a trip, you're a little tired for a couple days, then you kind of get back to normal. It was like I never got back to normal. And then it was time to go on the work trip, which was even more exhausting. And then I came back and then still wasn't back to normal. And one day this week when it was time to get up, I just felt so tired and just awful. I called out from work and I stayed in the bed until like after 11 a.m. and I realized I had... Okay guys, so sorry about that. Battery died. So I'm going to try to talk a little faster and finish up. So where I left off, I was talking about sleep. So, yeah, I've been having a hard time sleeping and got to the point where one day this week I actually woke up. I felt so bad. I stayed home from work and I slept. I stayed in the bed till like 11 a.m. So I had basically been in bed for over 12 hours and I still felt really tired, like I could keep sleeping. So that's when I realized that maybe this is just what being pregnant feels like. So yeah. What else? Exercise. So in week 10, I think I only worked out maybe one time before Bloggalicious, and then I didn't do, like I said, I didn't do any of the fitness activities there. In week 11, I worked out one time, and then in week 12, I didn't do any workouts because I was on that work trip walking a lot each day. But then after the trip, I did do one workout, and then I had the bleeding scare. So not a lot of exercise, but I'm trying to stay as active as I can within reason. Meds. So right now I'm not on any medications anymore. No more fertility drugs, except I'm still taking the baby aspirin, and then I'm doing vitamins. I'm doing vitamins C, D, and E. And one of the B vitamins, I think it's B3, but it's known as niacin. That's the one that was in the news earlier this year that they said could help with decreasing miscarriages. My mood has been happy, but still anxious and worried about all that I need to accomplish before the baby gets here, and just like financial worries, like about daycare costs and things like that. Things that I've been thinking about for 2+ years and trying to prepare for, but still, you know, still a little worried. But overall, super happy to be pregnant. I feel so blessed. And you know, the things that I talk about here, like being tired and you know, uncomfortable, not sleeping well, you know, I'm just sharing that for information purposes for anyone who, you know, just likes to see what pregnancy is like or what they might be experience. It's not complaining. I'm so happy to be pregnant. So blessed. I have no complaints about it thus far. And then the other feeling I have is just a sense of disbelief. Like, am I really pregnant? Has this really happened to me? Like a sense of amazement. So who have I told? At this point, I've told everybody, the whole world, except one person, a person in my family that I don't see very much. And they don't really do social media either. So still have that one person to tell. Purchases. So I'm going to show you really quickly the things that I've purchased because I kept forgetting to do that in past videos. I showed you guys this one, the one onesie that says Aunt Magnet. This was the one that I got to show my brother and sister-in-law when I was pregnant. And then I got these two onesies. They both say the same thing. They say, "My mom saves the day." And I got it in both newborn size and 3 to 6 months because don't know how big or little the baby will be. And if they fit the newborn, you know, then they still have another one they can wear when they're a little bigger. And then the other week I was in, these are all from Target, by the way. They had a lot of like little orange stuff for Halloween. I thought this was really cute. It's like a little footed onesie with little tiger feet. And it says Wild About Mommy. And I thought that was cute. And I got that in size 6 months because with the baby being born in April. It'll be, you know, a little older, a little bigger by the time it gets cool enough for like a footed onesie. And then I got these cute little gray sweatpants in 3 to 6 months to say, uh-oh. I thought those were adorable. They could be for a boy or girl. And they could go with the My Mommy Saves the Day onesie. I think that can match, right? I think that would look cute. So that's what I purchased so far for the baby. And like I mentioned, for me, I finally got some maternity clothes now. Which I'll show you. This outfit is a maternity outfit. I'll show you in a little bit. So those were the purchases. What I'm looking forward to most that's coming up is I have a doctor's appointment next week. And that'll actually be my first actual doctor's appointment. So I've had 2 OB appointments. Both of those have been with nurse practitioners. One with the place that I did not like and one with the place that I liked a lot. And then I had an ultrasound, but that was a technician. So this will be my first actual appointment with a doctor. So I am looking forward to it. I'm a little nervous about it. I'm sure there'll be a weight conversation and about how much weight I should gain or whatever. And I never enjoy those conversations with any doctor. Then also, I'm looking forward to being less tired. So as of right now, I'm in I'm 14 weeks as of today, and I'm still tired, but I'm officially 2nd trimester now, so I'm looking forward to being less tired and getting that 2nd trimester energy boost that everyone mentions. What I miss right now is I miss being able to exercise without caution. I'm trying to stay active in the exercise because it's good for you. It helps with anxiety. The nurse practitioners and stuff have told me it's okay. No one's told me I shouldn't. You know, I'm not at risk for anything in terms of exercise. And exercise can help me with gestational diabetes, which I am at risk of because I'm Black, I'm overweight, I'm over 35, and there was like a 4th one. I had like 4 out of the 6 risk factors. So I'm trying to stay active and exercise because of that, but I'm always worried that I'm overdoing it. Am I getting too hot? Am I getting too out of breath? So it's like I can't enjoy exercising. And not that I ever loved exercising. I'm not going to pretend like, you know, that I'm a gym rat that like loves it. But, you know, I would do it, but I was never worried about overdoing it. I would just do my workout. So I do miss being able to just work out and not be nervous about working out. And then the other thing I miss is just seafood and fish, being able to eat however much I want of it. When I was on that work trip, another reason I didn't like it is I was not in control of my diet because they were providing us with lunch and dinner. And pretty much they like to serve lamb a lot. I'm not going to get into the whole trip and why they were serving a lot of lamb. But they were serving lamb a lot, which I discovered I do not like, or salmon. So I had salmon 3 days in a row. Even though salmon is on the good fish list, like I'm still only supposed to eat like 12 ounces per week. So I couldn't really eat a whole lot of it. And then again, I was nervous, like, oh, am I eating too much? So I miss being able to eat just whatever. Like right now I want some crab legs, but like I'm like, no, I shouldn't get them because I had some pasta Alfredo the other day that had shrimp in it. So I do miss being able to eat whatever I want when I want. And okay, gender. So I do not know the gender. I'm planning to have a gender reveal at my baby shower, so we won't know the gender for quite a while. When I did the panorama, they put in to find out, and they're just going to put it in a sealed envelope for me. And every time I now talk to any medical people, the first thing I'm going to tell them is don't tell me the gender so that they are aware. But I don't have any prediction. Like, I have no clue. I'm really, really clueless about what the baby is. And it feels odd to know that it's written down in a file somewhere that this is a boy or a girl, and I have no clue. And I was talking to the baby the other day, and I was saying, you can let me know in a dream what you are, but then I didn't dream about the gender, so I have no clue. In terms of preference, I think at this moment in time, I'm thinking that a girl sounds fun. None of my friends have girls, and I feel like somebody has to have the girl. So, you know, maybe me. I think girls are maybe more fun to dress. So we'll see. But then again, if I have a boy, I'll be just as thrilled. And one of the big things that I would love about having a boy, and I mentioned this before, is if I have a boy, I'm going to give them my dad's name as their middle name. So William will be the baby's name. So I really hope to have a son at some point in my life. If not now, I hope that I'll be able to do this again and have a son to pass on that name, because that would mean so much to me. So, but I have no clue. And so now I'll give you guys a bump shot and I'll show you my outfit. I'm probably going to cut my head off in the video. But I thought this looked pretty cute for a maternity. And the pants were a little big, but these were one of the clearance pants. So it's like, well, they can be a little big or I can pay full price. So I decided to go with the clearance. So this is, and I think actually it makes me look thinner. I had gotten to the point where I couldn't button my pants. So I was doing like hair ties, and I tried the belly band, and the regular size one didn't work. It kept rolling, and I bought a plus size one, and it still rolled a little bit. But even when it stayed in place, every time I would stand up, I would have to adjust my clothing, and then things just weren't really feeling comfortable. So I'm glad to have the maternity clothes. This is my first day wearing an outfit, and I feel very, very comfortable. I don't feel like awkward and like, oh, like I'm busting out of my clothes, and you know, which makes you feel self-conscious. Like, do you look fat? You know, because you don't really look pregnant yet, but you know, you're bigger. Oh, and I should tell you guys weight gain. So I think as of right now, I've gained like 15 pounds, which had been making me nervous in the beginning. I feel less nervous now because the weight gain has decreased. So I think like the first month I gained like 7 pounds or something, or 6 pounds, and then the second month, like according to the app, was like 5 pounds, and then the third month was only like 3, and now I'm technically in the 4th month on the app, and I only gained like, I think like 1 or 2. So at least I feel like that's decreasing, and probably a lot of that gain was just because I went off of that really low carb, really low calorie, healthy eating challenge that I was doing. So, but I gained like 15 pounds from the weight, my low weight where I had lost weight there, from the last doctor's appointment to right now. I think I only gained like 2 pounds. So we'll see what happens next week and what the doctor says. But that's the weight gain so far, and then I'll end with giving you guys a bump shot. So this is what I'm looking like at 14 weeks. From the Doppler, I know the baby has moved up, and I can feel that my uterus is higher. It's like all the way up to here now, as opposed to like way down here. So it's like up to here. And I'll show you the maternity pants. You can see a little better. Oh, if I can get my shirt to stay up. So this is what I look like at 14 weeks. You know, a little puffier, can't close the pants, but like my normal everyday fluff. Because I've never been a skinny girl. It's covering, I think, any bump. So that's all I have for this week. Sorry for the camera cutting out. One of these days I'll get good at doing these videos without technical difficulties. And soon I'll be caught up because I'm doing multiple weeks at a time to so I can be more get to the point where I'm giving you guys like present day updates. Like I'll be updating you about week 15 at the end of week 15 kind of thing. So the videos will be shorter when I get to the point where I'm only doing 1 week at a time and not doing several weeks together to get you caught up. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, especially if you watched to the end. Keep up with me on social media, whatever your favorite social media is. I'm there, except for Snapchat. I don't really do that. But I do have ones. You can find Chasing Joy on Snapchat, and that should be me, but I don't really post anything. But keep up with me, especially on Instagram and Facebook. If you want to see like what's going on like real time with me. And definitely feel free to join like the newsletter. And if you're local to Philly, which is where I am, or close enough, definitely join the newsletter and keep in touch, because I'm going to attempt to do a couple of events for Chasing Joy before the baby comes, so you can come and hang out with me in person, which would be awesome. So definitely keep in touch through social media. Or you can email me, or you can send me snail mail, whatever you want to do. All of those connections and addresses are in the comments. So thanks for watching. This is my update for